In this video, Talk TV's Kevin O'Sullivan and Philip Kiszely from the New Culture Forum dive into the shocking rape gang scandal with over 1,000 grooming gang suspects currently under investigation. We'll also explore the critical leadership principle of a government's duty to protect its citizens. Before we get into the discussion, if you love diving into political issues and enjoy hearing a principled take on them, then hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to join the conversation. It will help our channel reach a wider audience.
One police force alone, right now, is investigating more than 1,000 grooming gang suspects, rape gang suspects. Over 300 Greater Manchester cops are probing claims made by 714 more victims. These are young, vulnerable white girls who say they've been preyed upon by Muslim men of Pakistani heritage. This force is the biggest police force in the land, actually, Manchester, Greater Manchester Police. Of course, encompasses Rochdale, which is the dark heart of the rape gang scandal. So when people say, oh, is this still going on? You bet your bottom dollar it's still going on, and at scale. This is awful, isn't it?
It's terrible. I'm just trying to compute
you're part of the world,
all of these numbers. You're dealing with, as you say, you're dealing with Rochdale here. You're also dealing with Oldham. You're dealing with Bolton, and you're dealing with Bury.
And these are ground zero.
So these are ground zero for all of this thing. I'm from Bury, so I know these places well.
Yeah.
If you're talking about Rochdale, you are literally talking about a racially divided town. Okay, the divide between the Asian and the white populations is absolute, right? They really, they don't integrate at all, and they simply can't. Now, that is the heart of the problem, okay? Because the Asian many of the Asian population, particularly the Pakistani men, as we know, just see white, vulnerable working-class girls as fair game for abuse because they are completely on the other side. They don't even see them as human beings. The real problem is that the rest of that community do not deal with it for various reasons, mainly a lot of them because they're frightened, but because it just isn't culturally appropriate for them to deal with it. The police, there is, negotiated policing in these areas as well. So the police are completely ineffective. Okay, they will go in and they will talk to community leaders before they do anything. So there is literally no policing going on, and people wonder why these things carry on and carry on and carry on. On top of all that, you have a liberal elite who will just kind of put their fingers in their ears and close their eyes and just say it isn't happening because, as we said before, diversity is our strength. This is the terrible thing. We are beyond catastrophe, as I said.
Yeah, people say, oh, the rape gang scandal, it's over. Others say, well, it's still going on. And you think, oh, my God. Well, it's clearly still going on, as I say, at scale. Just to reiterate those numbers, Greater Manchester Police are currently investigating more than 1,000 more rape gang suspects. And these are stories being told by 714 more alleged victims. That is terrible. Meanwhile, it has also emerged today, Philip, that inquiries into the worst sex crime scandal in British history were made much more difficult by Manchester City Council, who apparently redacted vast swathes of the relevant documents, documented evidence. They said due to complex rules allegedly preventing the sharing of personal data. I wonder why they really redacted it. But I mean, this is typical, isn't it? Let's give Manchester City Council the benefit of the doubt and say that they were actually hamstrung by data sharing rules. But shouldn't you be saying, right, rather, these are young girls who've been treated like animals, who've been tortured, who've been raped. Data sharing rules should take second place to that. Let's really not redact this evidence. Let's help the police. It's this attitude that the fate, the plight of these poor girls wasn't that important.
Well, let's just think about Manchester City Council because they're a really good example, actually. Remember when this stuff broke and everybody was absolutely shocked shocked. You know what Manchester City Council did? Yeah. They really pushed Islamophobia Awareness Month. That was their response to all of this kind of stuff. And that is absolutely at the heart of the problem, isn't it? You know, it's kind of, if you take the most hideous crime of the century and then take an aspect, you know, the perpetrators, or at least, you know, some of the perpetrators, and turn them into victims, then that's what happens up and down this country all the time. Things are turned on their head, and it's a kind of Orwellian way of treating people, and it's always women and children who suffer. And
I'm sure that you're aware of the scale of this. I'm sure you all are, but there are estimated in total to be 250,000 victims of this scourge. Probably still going on. That's 250,000 vulnerable young white girls, many of them underage. As I say, I keep saying the scale of this is just staggering.
It's incredible, and you would think that the nature of it as well, and for those of us who've read the transcripts, and I know you have, I mean, I was in tears reading them, because it wasn't just abuse, it was hideous torture. For those of us who actually know what has gone on, it's almost as though the country should stop and we should make this the biggest priority to sort out. But of course, it will never be sorted out for all of the reasons I've just said. They don't want to sort it out. If they do sort it out, then they have to admit that multiculturalism has been devastating for this country, devastating for women, devastating for girls, and it's very difficult to see a way back from it without some kind of cultural revolution.
So I just hope that they conduct this with integrity to really try to get to the bottom of what happened here and who are the villains of the police. Also, I want the police to go around arresting some of themselves for turning a blind eye. These teachers, these social workers, local politicians, top cops who turned a blind eye because they didn't want to be called racist, they should be brought to justice.
When leaders turn a blind eye to abuse and criminality, an escalation of abuse and crimes is inevitable. The grooming gang scandal, with over 1,000 suspects under investigation, is an unmissable example of this failure. In a nation like Britain, no one, especially the most vulnerable, should live in fear. Neglecting crimes like these erodes public trust and encourages criminals. The path forward is clear. Prioritize robust policing to stop predators. Ensure swift and fair prosecutions, and provide real support for victims to rebuild their lives. Confront tough issues with courage, even when it's uncomfortable. Transparency and action restore trust. Inaction destroys it. To those in power, you are the guardians of public safety. Your decisions determine whether people feel secure in their homes and communities. Step up, act decisively, and put public citizens first. The vulnerable deserve your unwavering commitment, and the public expect it. The grooming gang scandal is a call to action. Leaders, when you turn a blind eye, you fail us all. Embrace your duty to protect every citizen with courage. Strengthen law enforcement, support victims, and deliver justice. Safety is a right, not a privilege. Let's demand better. What steps do you think leaders should take to secure citizens? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you have benefited in any way from this video, please subscribe, like, share, and be sure to leave us a comment.